Okay, welcome back to one more session in Lean Six Sigma. This is our 10th week, what we are discussing about the Lean Six Sigma and how we are going to improve that, right? So we'll continue the same thing and we are going to see a lot of tools today as we discussed. So the tools will be very helpful for you to start your projects. Okay, that is a main thing which I want to cover today. Okay, so we'll move on. So here we discuss a lot of the time, right? Why we need to do this exercise, why we need to understand the LSS or the lean methodology, right? So because we are in the world of improvement, right? A lot of tools and then technologies are coming in. So we have to change ourselves how to think in the lean methodology and then how we are going to incorporate our knowledge into the technology world, right? That's the main reason we are trying to cover. So those are all we covered in the last week and how to select a project, what we discussed, right? I can select any project, but is it suitable for Lean Six Sigma project? That's what we discussed in the last class. So today, what we are going to do in the 10th week. So what we are going to cover here is, so what are the things we are going to do? What is the project management and what is the tools we are going to use in that, right? That's what we are going to discuss in the today's class. See, the project management, I think last week one asked the question, okay, how I'm going to tell my project scope, right? That's what the project management talks about, right? So if you're coming to the project management, see, what is a project? Whatever I'm going to do, I am going to give the start date and the end date. That's called project, right? Can I take any client as a project? It cannot, right? It will be a continuous work. In the project, in the sense, there will be a start date and there will be an end date for this. That is called the project. And second one, the project management refers to the entire process getting the project completion within what is the source available with you and what is the time frame given to you, right? So can I run the project forever? Then it is not called for project, it will called process, right? So that is the difference. So, what is a project charter? See, whenever you are going to start any project, you have to prepare a project charter, and or we'll call that as a project plan. That is very, very important, especially for you as a green belt holder. You should know how to create a project charter. All right, that's what we are asking you to submit a project which will start with your project charter. What all should be there in the project charter? One, the statement of objective, right? What is my goal? What I'm going to achieve here? Detailed project goal, roles and responsibilities, and who is the stakeholder for that particular project. And the problem statement is very, very important. Why this project is started. That's what we are calling as why, right? Why you are in the class, why you are doing this project, right? And project outlining. Okay, what I'm going to achieve by completing this project, and scope of the project, and include what all the resource you're going to use for this project, and results of achievement in the quantifiable term. Okay, how you can validate the project is successful or not. What is your outcome of that? The likely benefit stakeholder undertaking the project. Say, for example, someone is funding you, you consider that from your office, right? Someone asks you to do the project, then it is a cost involved, right? In that, what benefit I'm going to give back to them, and its feasibility. These are all the details should be in your project charter. See, if you want to know the skeleton of the project charter, you can go and then put any of the Google and then ask for the project charter and then plan. You will get a lot of types. Okay, start identifying which type or which table will suits for your requirement for your project. Okay, but when the project charter you are selecting, all this will be there. That is mandatory for you. And second one, the timeliness. Okay, I am going to complete in what time? See, we are going to use the Gantt chart for that. Okay, what is mean by Gantt chart? See, for example, I am taking a line item one. I am saying this is going to take the 3 months. Okay, first quarter I'm going to do this. And in the quarter two, I'm going to do this. Quarter three, I'm going to do like this. You are going to create that into the Excel sheet and you're going to say that what is my length of activity. Say, for example, I'm saying first I'll work on my define phase. Okay, what is the timeline for my define phase? For example, I'm taking 1 month to identify the define phase. I'm going to discuss with the stakeholder, and then I'm going to bring that and all. We're going to take your time there, right? It is a Gantt chart. And second one, what we are calling here as a PERT chart. Okay, PERT chart is the same thing. We are giving it in a different format. See, for example, what will start first? Second, what activity is going to go? And the same activity, if it is branching out, how many activities I can collect? Say 3 and 4 will go. After that, the 3 should give the detail here, and then 4 should come the detail here. Then I'll go to 5. Then I'll go to 6 and 7. Instead of this, we are following this. And the project schedule management also similar to this, but here we are going to add our steps. Okay, when I'll start, when this will start, when this step will start, like that, we are going to give. These are all very basic for you. See, if you need anything, you can easily search, start and then search on it, right? And next week, when you're coming here, we want to do all this as a practical example, right? Then only it will be useful for you. Once we completed this 10th week session, we will go ahead and then see what are all the charts we can do. See, do I need to do all the three? Not needed. At least one you should know. How to do the Gantt chart, or how to do the PERT, or how to do the project scheduling. Any one you have to practice today. Right. And project risk analysis. See, whenever I took any project, there will be a risk involved, right? Every project will go straight away and then complete it. For the risk analysis, we are going to use SWOT. Okay, what is SWOT? Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. Okay, see, whenever you are going to go and then prepare yourself, right? You should know what is your SWOT, what is your strength, what is your weakness, what is your opportunity, and then what is your threat, right? This you need to prepare. Okay, the SWOT is very simple when you start working for you. When the SWOT will become tough when you try to analyze the SWOT for your project. See, for example, whatever the project you're going to take, you have to drill down with the SWOT level, or you have to prepare the RPN, right? Risk priority number. And then this is involved in the FMEA. FMEA is nothing but this includes the RPN, failure mode effective analysis. I'm planning to do one session separately on the FMEA. This will be very helpful who are all involved in the transition or who are all going to take any new project. FMEA is very, very specific one, and you should know how to handle it, right? So here, this FMEA include the RPN. Based on the RPN number, we are going to identify this is high risk project or high risk item which need to be concentrated. So we will cover that in the practical session in the FMEA when it is coming to measure or the define phase. Okay, we will discuss on that. And the project scope, as we discussed on the project scope, you are going to define your scope, what are all the things I'm going to work on, how it should differ, and then how it is going to show that. Okay, that details we need to check on that. And list of affected department during the project execution and defining the resource requirement and SIPOC. As we discussed, the SIPOC is very important. And we are going to use the Pareto chart and brainstorming to define and document the scope. See, the project scope, as we discussed, you have to define. Otherwise, you have to face the criticism from everywhere. They'll come and say that why you didn't include that, why you are not including that. Everything the project scope is going to answer. Okay, you need not come and then explain to everyone. The project scope will define that. And project metrics. Before you start any project, okay, you have to define what is my outcome, how you can measure it, right? That is very important. See, for example, in any of your RCM, right? If you don't have the KPI metrics, how you are going to know that you are in the successful or you are not in successful? There is a metric, right? MJ may have the industry benchmark, right? From that benchmark, I'm going to compare myself whether my RCM is in the right stage or not. See, for example, AR days, right? AR days, what we are talking about, around 26 days or 30 days is a very good practice. When it is going 45 days, we are seeing that we are not good. If it is anything is greater than 60 days, especially for a hospital and all, we know very well we have to do a lot of work to bring that back. So the similar way, you are going to give the metrics, how you can measure your project. You define your project metrics. Okay, somebody else need not define it, but you can define your project metrics, what I am going to do, how it can be measured. And second one, project documentation, as we discussed, it should have the purpose, it should have the detail, and it should have the format, right? Since we are going to do the LSS, you start the DMAC methodology. That's what your format should be. Project closure, as we discussed, projects will have the start and end date, right? If you don't have end date, that's not called project. So project closure, the final phase, confirm by the project what are the things I achieved, what are the things you measured, and then see that this is my success. All the things you have to add that in the project charter. After that, you're going to present that to the management so that they will review and then understand what your project is, what you achieved, how you measured your project, what the input you're bringing to the project closure, and the based on the project, what you're trying to bring it to the table of management, right? How we are going to improve that particular problem. This is a project wise. And green belt, as a green belt guy, what you need to know here is you should know the project management and that need to be defined and project scope. And then what are all the resource I'm going to use, set up goals, timeline and milestones, reporting, updated stakeholders and executives. Okay, these are all the details you're going to add in your green belt role. Okay, right. So now the task for you is you take the project charter from any of the Google, take any one plan, and then by this time you would have been identified some project, right? What I'm going to do. Or if you didn't come to that level yet, take any of your project in your office saying that what is your major denial, how I'm going to reduce it. Like that, you take one and then prepare some project charter. Okay. Mainly, this is what you need to practice today, right? Either Gantt chart, okay, project scheduling management or PERT chart. You try to do, then you will have a lot of questions, okay, how to do. Then if you start practicing it, this will be definitely helpful to close your project. Okay, it is not a yellow belt. Without the project charter, they can give one tool and then complete. Since it's a green belt, the project charter is very, very important. Right. So here the management tools, what we are planning to work on, right? So for example, these are all coming in the define phase, right? In the define phase, these are all the tools which it is very, very specific. I think flowchart, everyone know. I don't want to go in depth because if you know that any of the denial, you're going to follow the flowchart, right? If you don't know what is a flowchart, see, this is based on the flow where I'm starting. See, for example, I'm taking denial. Okay, denied claim denied for POS we'll consider, right? So we know that what are all the codes related to POS. So from there, once the claim is denied for POS, what I need to do? I have to do my activity or I have to send it to coding. So that defines your workflow. See, for example, what I'm going to do, I'll check what is the CPT code, okay, and what is the place of service. Historically, it is paid or not paid. And then if it is previously paid, what I need to do, I have to go back and then send it for reprocess. It never paid. This is the first time scenario. We didn't match with any of the POS. What I need to do, I'll go to the LCD policies and then try to check the POS. And then POS says the A code, right? A article. If the POS says it cannot be billed for the CPT code, then what I need to do, I have to send it back to coding. And the coding team will check it and they will create a corrected claim and then I'm going to file the corrected claim, right? This is a flowchart. So how we are going to do it in the picturization? That is the main thing that is called the flowchart, right? So when you are identifying the problem, right, you can put a flowchart and then mark down where is your problem, how we are going to improve on, right? This is about the flowchart. And this is the very, very effective way of the tool is root cause analysis, right? We'll call it as a cause and effect diagram. See, for example, if you have any kind of a problem, you have to ask 5 times why. Okay, why this is happening? Why this is happening? If you start asking, then you have to categorize that into 6 types: man, machine, material, okay, method, management, and environment. You have to categorize in this category. If you understand man, what is causing? Okay, machine, what is causing? Material, what is causing? Method, what is causing? Management. And if you bring that down, then you will understand what is the problem in the claim. Okay, that is a very important. We'll call it as Ishikawa fishbone analysis, and we'll call it as RC analysis. This is very, very important. So you can use this methodology in your project. Okay, right. So coming to tree diagram, the same thing, what we are doing here, the same thing we are going to create here. This is your problem and this is a branch out, right? What are all the problems is a branching, how it is going to get it. This is called tree diagram. Even this we can do. Okay, if you split that, for example, the same thing, right? If you are checking the POS, how the POS is the problem, the CPT code and the place of service. Like that, you can split and then move on based on your problems. Right. Affinity diagram is the same thing. Okay, what it is a process understanding, right? See, for example, there is a team of 10 members out there. Okay, what you can do, you can go and then discuss the same problem with 5 members or your team. And then based on that, we are going to give a sticky note here. See, for example, you are saying this is my top problem, then I align it. Then there's a second problem, align it. Third problem, align it. Then you can get this particular affinity diagram. Okay. And check sheet, you know very well, right? What all the steps you need to follow before doing this. And Pareto chart, every AR team members know this Pareto chart very well. That is called 80-20 chart. This 80-20 chart based on that 80% of the problem caused by top 20% of your causes. So this Pareto chart is also very important. With that, you can come to a data analytics in a very detailed way. And mixed diagram, see matrix diagram, we are not using much in the matrix diagram, but there is also one more program called matrix chart. Okay. This will help us to analyze systematically. Usually this you will cover this in the black belt program. So I'm not going in depth on the metrics, but I just want to show you what is the tool here. And the same way, interrelationship diagram. Okay, just for example, you are connecting billing and then coding and then other team. So how these departments are interconnected to get this particular problem. The same way, it is called prioritization matrix. See, for example, you can put this graph, okay, based on your work, whether it is a low effort and then high impact, this is the first table. High effort, high impact, this will be the major project. Say, for example, you're taking any project and here you want to categorize, right? How my project is going to set on. In that, you create the impact. What I'm going to bring it to the table. What is my revenue out of this project? And how much effort is required. If based on this, if you plan this priority action, okay, for example, low effort means I don't want to put much of the effort, but the result will be very high. This will become your quick win, the table one. The high effort I have to put, but high impact will be there. So I'm going to fix majority of my problem. Then it will become a major project. It will take time, right? The same way, low effort, low impact. Do I need to do this project? That's a question we have to ask, right? For example, high effort, low impact. That means it is a worthless, right? I have put a lot of effort, but impact is nothing. So you have to categorize your project in such a way whether it is fall in your table number one or box number one or box number two. If anything in the box number three, it's total waste. Box number four, you have to ask whether definitely I need to do this or not. So make sure that your projects lies in this either one or two category. And third one, the focus group, as we discussed, the VOC, based on the VOC, we are going to create this particular group, how I'm going to improve on. And then benchmarking, as we discussed, MGMA, they have a benchmark. I'm taking that as my standard and I'm going to pick it up from there. That's called your benchmarking. Gun chart, we already covered. CPM and PERT, we covered. And then activity chart, this is also the same. We are going to give the steps, okay? How I'm going to start, how my flow will be. There will be a multiple option, but what I'm selecting. See, for example, here, A, B, C, and then there is a three different way. D, G, or E, H, I, and then end. See, when you calculate the time, okay, for example, how much time I'm going to take when I go this particular route, and how much time I'm going to take when I turn E, H, I, end. How much time it will take go to the F. See, in that F maybe it will not be the right idea because I'm going to close the project. So only two options. Either I have to go in this order or I have to go D, either D or through E. You calculate what is the time, lesser time, and you can say how you are calculating the map, right? When you put a destination, you will get three or four different directions, right? In the map. What we will do, we will select the map and then see that what is the length or distance between that particular route and another route in the Google map, and then we are selecting the short time road, right? Short time routes. Similar to that, this is the way we are going to select our project, how we are going to do that. Okay, this is what we are covering for this week. Okay, I know that these are a lot of detail and theoretically we are discussing, right? So we just want to know that how we can do this flow chart. I think everyone know about it. I don't want to dig too much on the flow chart side. First, I'll go to the We will start with one by one till we have a time. Okay. Right. So first what we are going to do is we will touch upon the cause and effect diagram. Okay. So we'll take this. So we will take any one denial. Okay. See, for example, you guys have to participate, then only it will come better. Okay. Denied for POS. That is my problem. Okay. So now I'm going to do the root cause. Okay. Why I'm getting place of service denial?
The CPT
by
and
selecting the invalid place of
Sorry.
service.
Date of
service
service.
is billed improperly, right?
Okay. So improper billing, right? That's what you're saying, right? What is the number 2?
Because of the CPT code.
Because of the CPT code. I don't like the CPT code. Okay, fine. Then third one. Vamsi, coding Garu. Answer Vamsi Garu.
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
Tell me, what is the problem? Why we are getting this place of service?
Maybe the DX issue also, isn't it, sir? Need something
DX is related to POS? Okay, we'll take it. Okay, 4. Next. Who didn't answer so far? Manjula.
Yeah, just CPT code I said.
Oh, you only said, okay, I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Who didn't
Okay.
answer? Then pull somebody else, like, who didn't answer so far? That's all, huh? Only 3 category. See, the point is why the claim is getting denied. It may be for the improper billing, right? We'll take it as a billing is the issue. Then CPT is the issue. And the diagnosis code is the issue. There's no coder's problem here. Or coder incorrectly selected, anything is there? Who's selecting
Yes,
the
sir.
place of service? Coders only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's a coding problem. Okay, so this one. So now my question here is we will take in that also we will cover your priority metrics. Okay. Say you are having how many people are there now today? See in that you guys are not aligned, right? Billing, one guy is saying billing, second one is saying CPT, third one is saying diagnosis, fourth one is saying coding. Right? See here, we will take a voting, right? How many of you supports billing? Can you raise your hand? No, you have
Yes,
to
sir.
raise. You have to raise your hand. Yes, 1, then 2, 3, 4. Okay. Totally, there are four votes for this. Okay, we'll take this. For example, CPT. Okay, lower your hand for your CPT. Okay, how many are accepting CPT is a problem? 2. Okay, 2 votes. What we get? 3. Okay, 3 votes. Okay, and then diagnosis. How many of the people accepting diagnosis code is a problem? Lower your hand, then you can raise it again. Is this 2 for diagnosis? Rishikesh and Vamsi. You're saying, okay, Rishikesh raised. So only Vamsi alone saying it's a diagnosis, okay? And coding, how many people saying it's a coding issue? 1, 2, 3, okay. 2 people saying that it's a coding issue. Okay, fine. See now, when you are having a team and you want to finalize which you have to take it as a project, right? When we are discussing on this one metric, see, I'm going back to my screen. See this affinity diagram, right? What we did voting, this what the affinity program mean, right? See diagram means. See for example, what I'm planning here is I'm taking billing. There are 4 people aligned on. See this will become my billing and I'll add the comment from the 4 people here. And second one, I'm going to take CPT code. This will be my second one. I'm going to add 3 here. And third one, the diagnosis code, I'm going to put in the third column and then how many people are supported that. Same way coding, how many people are supported. So this is called affinity diagram. How we are going to prepare this? In that, what is the votes are more, then it will become your problem, and then you can start work on it. This is called the affinity diagram, right? Based on the generic voting, we have to collect all the details from them. Based on that, we are going to start this particular thing that is called affinity diagram. See, now coming to the Ishikawa or fishbone diagram, what we need to do, we will take this. See, as per this, we come to a conclusion. Billing is a 4. Okay, we are going to take that as my project. Okay, based on the affinity program. Now I come to a class of billing. So now the question is, why it's denied for POS? We decided billing. Billing is a problem. Next question, ask why. Why billing is a problem?
Maybe incorrectly appended on the claim form or like that.
Incorrectly work. Okay. Appended. Okay. Second question. Why incorrectly appended?
Because the coder provide incorrect information, right? Based on the coder information, based on the coder information, we are providing the DX or the CP POS
Info.
on the.
Okay, fine. Based on the coder info. Why the coder is giving wrong information?
Because based on the medical records, they are providing.
Based on MR. Okay. Why MR is giving wrong information?
Maybe sometimes not related that patient medical records also.
Wrong medical
Sometimes
record. Wrong MR. Okay. Right. Why wrong MR?
Mismatch of patient details sometime, maybe demographic type.
Mismatch of patient detail. Okay. So we identified some root cause. Okay. There's sometime it will never end here. Okay. It will go why they are giving a different patient detail. Okay. Like that, it will go down, right? So in that scenario, what we are going to do here is you are categorizing that into, is it man, material? This is what we are discussing here, right? See, if you go here in this program, this will talk about in the top. Yeah. See, if you look into this, we are going to discuss about what does this mean, right? Whether it is man-made, material-made, or methodology-made. Okay, how this is going to happen? That's what our question is. We are going to categorize man, machine, and material. Okay, is it man? Incorrectly appended?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Man. Okay, and then this is based on what is that? Based on the coder info, which category it is fall under?
Material.
Material. Okay, and then based on MR, what is this?
Machine.
Again, material.
Material. Yes.
Right. Wrong MR. Again,
Made.
Based on environment.
environment, or again you can take it as a material, right here.
Material.
Okay, and mismatch patient, it's again man, right? See, now we
Yeah.
broadly identified this is a man-made mistake, right? And second lot, what we have to do here is we are going back to check, okay, why this is happening. Again, you have to drill down this why. Incorrectly appended. See, in this category, you branch out here, right? Incorrectly appended because of lesser training. Okay, I'm giving some example. It may be lesser training or no audit. Okay, there is no proper audit for this. And second one, in that, what else will be the problem? May be the new to the process. Okay, that would be the issue. Like that, you have to branch it out. See, for example, in this scenario, when it is man is coming, all the three will fall under this branch, right? All this for 6 would be there, not mandatory. Whatever you identified, and then figure it out. What is the issue here? See, for example, I am identifying incorrectly appended because of the training, or because of the after the work done, audit is not done, or the person may be the new, or the code may be new. Something I am defining. Right? This will help you to understand what is the problem. Now, what we are trying to do, After my 5Y, I identified we got a wrong patient matched up for the wrong MR. Based on the wrong MR, they had given the coders has given the POS. Because of this they entered into this. If that is the flow, then where your route is here, right? You need to fix this particular route. For example, this is not your route. The person who entered is wrong because of the training and because he joined newly and then asked to enter the number, or the audit is missing. See, for example, I am finding the person is new and training is not sufficient, then this is my route. So every problem, if you start asking 5 different why, you are going to get the root cause of that, right? This is very, very important. Don't do this exercise alone. Include your team and then do that. When team has a different opinion, you do this affinity chart, identify what is your top category and then go ahead here. The similar way, you take CPT as a second lot. Do the same exercise. Okay, you will understand the root cause of it. You have to come and then fill here. This is called your cause and effect diagram, right? The same thing, the branch out, right? This is your POS problem. What are all the things you are getting? You are getting billing, CPT code, diagnosis. What else we have given? Coding, like that. It is branching out. From there, you have to take it. See, if you consider this diagram, this is your POS. Here, PA will be coding, CPT, billing, like that you branch out. Then you define your problems in this branching out, right? You can use any method. You can use this fishbone or you can use tree diagram, visualization. This affinity diagram mainly to understand out of the 10 different opinion, which is my top. For that, we are using this affinity program, right? Affinity, because we are giving option to all to vote, right? That's what I asked you. Everyone vote. So if you start voting for all, then you will get a what is your major problem, how I am going to start it. So usually I ask you to raise hand, right? If it is a virtual environment. Otherwise, what we used to do, we will ask you to give a rating. Okay, it is 5, 4, 3, something like that. We will give a rating to you. Okay, you can ask your team to vote it. Okay, you are giving 5 votes for this, or 4 votes for this, or 3 votes. Then total. Based on that, you identify which is your bigger problem. Is it billing problem, CPT is a problem, or diagnosis is a problem, or a coding is a problem? That's very, very powerful tool. This affinity. This is for identifying the client escalation, finding a solution. This will be very effective. Okay. The Pareto chart we will cover next week. Okay. Pareto, mostly you guys know. If you don't know, then we'll pick it up that one. Okay. This is what I thought of covering this week. Okay. I hope this will be useful. Okay. As we discuss, please practice your project chapter. Take any simple project and then try to do this. Okay. Definitely this will be going to be helpful for you. Okay, so we will meet again with the next week with the next session by 11th week session.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.